You go after ISIS. Where's your priority? ISIS in Syria, ISIS in Iraq, and what is your strategy depending on which of these approaches you take? Do you go through the Iraqi government? Do you try to train a real force? Do you work with the Kurds? What would be the Kasich?
Well, the first thing is the Kurds are great. We hope to support them and have them become even stronger as a people. Secondly, I called John McCain many months ago saying that we needed to support the opposition in Syria. And I called John Boehner and I said, anything that I can do so we can begin to arm the opposition to Assad to drive him out of power for a variety of reasons, including geopolitical, which I know you know, vis-a-vis Iran, the Soviet Union. I believe that was important. A couple months ago, maybe 5 months ago, I said that we should be part of a coalition, even if it means putting boots on the ground, because as it relates to ISIS, you either pay me now or pay me a heck of a lot later. And I would probably, I would listen to what the commanders would say on that, but at the same time, my inclination would be to go to Iraq. I would not be asking all this permission. I would go in there with a group of people, our allies, and I would begin to literally destroy ISIS. And the minute you begin to beat that caliphate, which is what it is, the minute they're no longer, quote, 10 feet tall in the eyes of people, you begin to degrade their ability to be strong, and I think we can get on the offense.
But that's a large number of troops on the ground. Are you prepared to do that?
Well, I wouldn't say you have to have such a large number. I wouldn't go alone, Charles. I think part of the problem is we have seen an eroding of our relationships with our friends who are our European allies. These relationships have gotten weaker. They need to be strong. We speak, in some ways, with a fractured voice, while our enemies speak with a unified voice. And, by the way, we have common cause now with the Saudis, who ought to get to stop funding the madrasas and the radicalism that promotes. But we have common cause with them. We have common cause with Jordan. Who would have ever thought that we would see the Saudis beginning to understand the plight of the Israelis? That we've got a lot of potential if we're able to communicate and lead from the front. One administration official said, we ought to lead from the back. America should. I've never heard of anybody leading from the back. So I think it requires a group, a coalition, and NATO ought to be flexible, and it needs to be. We need to really strengthen all of NATO, Charles, in my opinion.
AB?